Hey everyone, welcome back. Thanks for tuning in. Today's video is going to be an install on a part that I probably should have done at the very beginning. So let's rewind a little bit. I'll explain what I'm talking about. And I'm going to talk about, ever since I installed the On3 Turbo Kit, I used their included manual boost controller. Now, inside the wastegate that comes from On3 is a 7 or 8 pound wastegate spring. And then the manual boost controller is meant to kind of restrict some air to allow the wastegate to stay closed to increase boost. Well, if you guys have checked my reviews on the On3 Performance Kit, you'll know that I'm not a fan of the manual boost controller that comes with the kit. I did try and work with it. The first time I installed it wrong. That's my fault. Second time I got it to work. I got it to regulate about 10 pounds, and then I figured it out to where I can regulate up to 12 pounds of boost. Well, now I am experiencing way too much boost creep, and I think the little air regulator that it comes with has failed me once again. So I went ahead actually when I tested this, I went ahead and turned down the boost controller all the way down just so I could run off gate pressure alone. Well, it wanted to spike up to 10 pounds immediately, so that was no good. So I figured that thing is just dead on arrival, pretty much. And pretty much what all the other people have done with all those manual boost controllers, when they get their kit, toss them in the trash. So we do have a fix for it today. We have a Turbosmart boost tee, which is essentially just an air bleeder. Very simple product, simple installation. Let's go ahead and unbox it for you guys real quick and show you what we're going to be working with here. Okay. If you want instructions, go to the website. That's what this card says. Go to the website. Little decal. This is pretty cool. Comes with a bracket and a little bit of hardware. It looks like two pieces of hardware here to mount the T to the bracket. We're actually going to mount this where my current regulator is located. And of course, the piece itself, simple little item. Alright. And there it is. And as you can see, it's pretty self-explanatory how this works. Since I have an external wastegate, this is going to go in line with the bottom port of my wastegate. So pretty much a boost reference line down to the bottom port of the wastegate. The top port will not be used. It'll just be vent to atmosphere. You can see here it's clearly marked boost plus, boost minus. The thing I like about this, you can hear it there. It's got a detent in it, so therefore there's no real walking, and there's no vagueness, there's no guessing. It's literally count the clicks. So, going in this direction, closed off, it should be completely on wastegate pressure on the spring alone. So, what this essentially, all this is, you can see it right here, there's a little hole in the side. It's a bleeder. So, if we go to increase to the plus, and boost comes into this side going down towards the wastegate, some of that air is going to bleed off into the atmosphere, therefore putting less pressure on the wastegate spring to open, therefore increasing boost. Pretty simple idea. So we're going to go ahead and back this all the way down. Now, one thing to note about this particular item is that you'll see here that port is very small. This port, normal size, normal inner diameter. So there's going to be a little bit of a restriction right here alone. So just putting this in alone, I may increase my boost by maybe a half a pound, possibly a pound. We'll test that. I do have a Terminator X that has a data log capability for my Fox Body Mustang. So we'll data log it and see how much boost just doing this alone at the lowest setting will create. Also, another thing to note, inside this inlet side here, there is a little detent and a spring. The reason that exists for this item is that if your car is still mass air equipped, the ball will keep pressure against this opening, therefore not causing a vacuum leak. Now again, since I have a Terminator X on my Fox body, speed density, that's not going to matter. So again, you're going to have a restriction here, another restriction with the ball and spring. You may actually increase your boost by 1, maybe 2 pounds. Again, we can test that theory. But what I'm going to do, since I want to have the ability to run just the spring alone, the spring pressure, at 7 or 8 pounds, I'm going to go ahead and remove this ball and spring. So I'm going to go ahead and get the appropriate size wrench and go ahead and get this off and show you guys what that looks like. Okay, so it looks like a 13mm wrench will do the job just fine. We're going to go ahead and slowly remove. Just get it loose. I'm trying not to lose this here. Okay, and there you can see you got the little detent and spring. Go ahead and remove those. Just put them in the box here so I don't lose them. And now you can actually see inside. See, it's just a little port that runs straight through across, so now there's no restriction from the boost line going to this all the way through down to the wastegate. And then the more you open this in the plus side, the more this valve's going to open to, again, let air escape. So I'm going to go ahead and tighten this back up. It's got a hard stop in there. Okay, so now there should be no restriction. Again, a little bit of a restriction here because of the size of the nozzle. We'll see how much boost this will actually create, if any at all. So we'll test that here in just a moment. But now, I'm going to go ahead and get this thing installed into the car. Alright, just for reference, I'll show you where I mounted my boost controller. The On3 one. Got it right there, mounted on a little bracket I made. You can see, pretty much it's just an air regulator. And what we're going to do is just essentially remove it off of there. Replace it with the new boost tee. And then instead of this side on the left running to the top port of the wastegate, there's going to be nothing running to the top port, and the line's just going to run in line down to the bottom port of the wastegate. I'm going to go ahead and get that removed real quick. Everything's put back together. Installation was super simple on this thing, and as you can see, I mounted this where I can easily just pop the hood and make adjustments if need be. So now it's time to kind of put it to the test. We'll run the datalog software and see what she does in regards to the old On3 regulator. We'll go ahead and file this one away. That looks like a good filing spot. Okay, so the top of third gear was 9.3 psi. So we did get a little bit of a spike in boost, and that's probably because of the restriction in that one piece of the line. So I gained about a pound, almost a pound and a half of boost by just putting on that T, and that's at the complete close setting. I'll check everything else out here, make sure we're good. Air fuel was 11.7 at the top of the run. Timing was at 16 degrees. So it looks good. Everything's looking good. So overall, it's a good item probably to pick up, but just keep in mind that with that restriction, you're probably going to increase your boost a little bit. So I'm going to probably search out tonight to find some fittings to replace those fittings that are on there. So that way I can, at least when I crank it all the way down, it should be making about 8 pounds, and start building from there. So that's going to wrap up this video. Hope you enjoyed this little cruise and data log session and testing out the new boost controller, or backyard boost T, I guess you could say. And yeah, I'm going to go play around with this car some more, and we'll definitely see you in the next video.